KDB. KDB.
Beats Planet.
Y'all, what's up? With another episode of Voch Lombardi Live. Shouts out to my peers at the volume, man. They do good work over there, regardless of what they saying. It is Eagles week, man. Will Steele, can I get the Undertaker bell, please? Chat, let me tell you something, man. I get lit after any win. Cowboys can beat anybody. I go crazy. We could beat the Giants. I'm throwing shit. We could beat the Washington football Wizards. I'm running around the crib. The Dallas Cowboys find a way. And I'm only saying this because it's Cooper Rush. I'll be acting different if it was 4. But if the Cowboys find a way to beat them characters, I don't even care what the score is. I don't care about how much. If Cooper Rush and them just do enough to get, they can win by 2, by a safety, Will. If they win by 2, It's not enough bail money that can contain me, bro. It's not. It's not. The game gonna be over, whatever, cool. I'm gonna do my post game monologue because apparently people really, y'all rock with the post game monologues because we get busy in the post game or whatever. But after that, man, I'm not responsible for my actions, man. I am not responsible for what I'm gonna say to them people. It's gonna be egregious. It's gonna be some paperwork with my address on it, just like they did Devontae Adams. It's gonna be Eagles fan got a concussion. It's gonna be my government name, my address, and all my charges. But bro, if y'all look, just when y'all tune in to A to Z Dallas in the morning, Monday, and we'll still tell you ain't gonna be no volume on Monday. Just don't super chat him the bail money. Put it in his cash app so he can get it immediately. You know what I mean? So I can at least be back on the air by Tuesday. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel, man. That's just how I feel, bro. It's just this game put a different feel in your body. You know what I mean? This game does a little something different to your mentals. I get stressed out all week, man, because people talk so crazy to us. And we'll still. Man. My monologue gonna be crazy if we pull it off, man. What's good with you, bro? How you feeling on this Eagles week, man?
Hey, man, listen. If you get locked up, my guys at the Cochran firm will handle everything that they need to handle for you.
Stop the cap.
Relax, sir. I appreciate y'all for being here, though. I'm Lombardi, man.
Yo, Skywalker.
Follow me on all my social media platforms, VOCHLOMBARDI. Master William.
Yeah, I got an urgent message for Mr. Willie Jump.
Everybody gonna die.
What's good with you, sir?
We gonna save it. I'm telling you right now, Voch.
Listen, let me tell you something. If we win the game, they can the whole fucking. We gonna play the whole song, but they gonna have to demonetize the joint. Volume gonna have to understand.
I dealt with it on Monday.
Yeah,
I didn't care. I didn't care.
Yeah, fuck it. Alex, who can be wishy-washy? Alex dropped a deuce in super chat, says, "I want you to talk nice to Jalen Hurts when we win." I ain't even scared of Jalen. I look and listen, man. I'm no phony. I give credit where it's due. Like if y'all beat Cooper Rush, you ain't getting no credit. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me take my glass off. You ain't playing the musical for real. Like, if you beat Cooper Rush, you ain't finna get no goddamn credit. But I'm gonna say some nice things about the Eagles today. Today we're breaking down the Eagles offense, and I got some cool things to say. It ain't gonna be much about Jalen Hurts, but I do have some good things to say about you. And that's probably the only reason here right now, Alex. You can leave if you think we just finna if you think we finna kiss your ass about this Eagle shit because you in this chat box, Alex. You can leave. Shouts out to you.
Nice. Yeah. Let's be nice.
Shouts out to Eugene and the Cashapp. He dropped 5 and I appreciate you, sir. Go ahead and finish your Will still because look, shit, we need to go.
No, we good, man. Just let's be nice to Alex. That's all. You ain't wrong. Let's be nice.
All right, man. Should we get no. I got sound clips today. I got some clips. We're gonna start off with some sound clips and damn, I ain't even uploading to the board. All right, so we're not finna get directly to well, I always record the shits, but I always forget to upload. How about this? This is what we're gonna do. The practice report, the injury report just dropped 5 minutes ago. I'm about to read that off. I got it on my phone while I upload my sounds to the soundboard of Dan Quinn, his sounds, because we love to hear from Dan Quinn every week. Will still, if you would just go to Twitter, please, sir, and see if you can find that practice report as we talk about it. Gracias, big homie. All right, I'm gonna upload that.
I saw a very interesting name on that practice report.
Oh, well, let me go to mine so we can talk about it. Let's go to mine. Jason Peters?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, well let's go top to bottom. Let me figure this out as I upload track number 2. Quinn Bohanna's full. I think that's important this week.
Can I give you an explanation on something I thought about this morning?
Please, sir.
I think they rested Bohanna against the Rams purposefully so he can have a week of rest for the Eagles. Not because he couldn't play, but because The Rams don't run the ball. They were 31st in rush attempts, and the Eagles are first. He's our run guy. Why would we play him? We can beat the Rams against, beat a team that don't run the ball. So I thought that was very smart, man.
You're saying that from the stance that Bo probably could have played.
Bo could have played.
But they made the decision to not play him to rest him fully for the Eagles.
Yep.
I like that. And it makes sense though. Because the Rams game plan would be a lot of open field tackling, pass rushing. And yeah, they would run the ball, but just dealing with that on a regular run ball, just run the ball basis or whatever. It makes sense, Will, still.
Yeah, they run the ball. I think they were 31st in the league in rush attempts. So, they look at all that analytical type stuff and they say, well, if Bo's our run guy and we know he's banged up, I don't see a reason to really throw him out there when we're about to play the number one rush team the next week.
Somebody say Voch so full of shit. I mean, that's true. But just tell me in particular what you're talking about. Just let me know exactly what I do. I mean, I agree though. Rico Dowdle got hurt. When that happened? He been active?
No, he has not been.
How the fuck he get? Okay, cool. We got it up here. How he get hurt? What he get hurt at in Walmart? He get hurt at lunch? What happened to him? It's like Rico Dowdle ankle did not practice. All right, cool, whatever. Ferguson, he's in full. He should be fine. Perfect. I think we're gonna need Ferguson because it's gonna be a lot of running the football because I ain't really trying to trust Cooper Rush like that. But we'll talk about that on Eagles defense day. J-Ron Curse is full. What was J-Ron Curse hurt for last time? It was his back and his neck. No, it wasn't back and his neck. It was like it was his back and something, right?
I believe it was. I thought it was his back or neck area.
Yeah. They got him down for his knee now, so I guess he just had a little tweak in the game. I guess. Okay. We know that D-Law will be limited, but I think he plays. Jordan Lewis full go. Connor McGovern full. Okay. Micah Parsons he got back in the game at the end of the game, so I don't anticipate Micah being held out. If anything, he'll just get some rest. They came out early, and which. So did Jerry Jones come out and say that Dak ain't playing early? Because this seems like something Mike McCarthy would hold on to till Sunday.
No, Mike did. Mike said it. Surprisingly, they all are on the same page here. Mike came out and said, we're preparing to play Cooper Rush.
All right, shit, man. Mike know I'm going to keep these things to the vest. Dalton Schultz. Is Dalton Schultz wasting his time, Will, still? Because we basically using Dalton Schultz as a blocking tight end. We ain't doing nothing else with him.
Yeah, I think he should rest.
All right. And Donovan Wilson is full. He's on the practice report also. But Jason Peters, that was the one, Will, still.
Yeah.
He had a little titty injury. And I thought them keep you out for a while. Pause. I thought them keep you out for a while. Jason Peters is right back in the mix. So let me ask you this, Will, still. I know Connor McGovern had a solid game last week versus the Rams. Voch rated Connor McGovern. Where'd I rate Connor McGovern? He was like third for me. That's high as he ever been. Do you bring Jason Peters back in a swing offensive lineman capacity, or is he back in that where he was before he got hurt, that we're going to rotate with Connor McGovern to feel like who's the starting left guard thing again?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a rotation. And definitely for this week. There ain't no way Jason Peters is going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to just suit up and sit on the bench. Nah, you're going to have to give me a couple series against my former team.
Fair enough. I just didn't. I mean, when Jason Peters was hurt, in my mind, I was just like, oh, man, well, that's Jason Peters for six weeks. That's Jason Peters for 2 months.
Well, the reports came out that it would have been multiple weeks. Now, but then it stopped. It was like right after that day, they said Jason Peters, chest injury, could miss multiple weeks. We got nothing. Nothing else came out after that. So today's the first time we heard an update, and Jason Peters was like, oh, I'm good. Practicing today. Huh? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Hey, man, shouts out to Jason Peters. All right, I finally got my Dan Quinn sounds uploaded. All right, here we go, guys. We good. Appreciate you for helping me bullshit through that segment, Will. Still appreciate you, my guy. All right, Dan Quinn, the most important coordinator to me, the most important coach to me, the man in which, even if Mike McCarthy wins the Super Bowl, I will kick him and Sean Payton off a bridge to keep Dan Quinn. That's just how I feel. No apologies. Turn my sound up there. Let's see. This was an interesting conversation. I'm kind of gonna curate this a little bit. You remember that first series, Will Steele? We talked about it, right? That first series, it was first down, second down, then we got the fumble for the touchdown. Dorrance Armstrong got a sack, fumble, D-Law picked it up, scored. And the very next series, I said this on my film session, it just shows how deep the Cowboys D-line is. You know what I mean? To where the first group is the first group, but that very next series, it was a whole nother group out there. And they was kicking ass too. It was the Sam Williams, Tristan Hill, Carlos Watkins group or whatever, right? They asked Dan Quinn, what's the mindset behind changing the configurations of your D-line like that? You know what I mean? Give us a little bit of insight on changing up the big guys on there. Dan Quinn had this to say.
Quite a bit of it comes from, being able to be at our best at the end of the half and at the end of the game. And so having enough guys who can rotate through when you have a big, deep crew like ours, you want to be at your best in those moments at the end of the half in those critical situations. So it was really just tied into that, knowing that we were going to go right back out on the field. And good news, bad news, when there's no bad news about scoring a defensive touchdown. The good news is that you want to make sure, the guys are coming off. You're going right back out, and you want to get organized to go do that. So, not so unusual for us, but we do like to roll the guys through, especially early in the game, so we can make sure at the end of the half and at the end of the games that we are really ready to hit on all cylinders.
Now, that's what I think is important, Will, still. Because what Dan is saying, we got 9 guys that can go, but there's still a hierarchy, right? You know what I mean? Like, we all evenly whoop ass. But this is still, hey, we want to get Micah D. Boom, boom, boom. But we have the advantage to where we need our best guys in 2 situations. 2-minute drill before the half, 2-minute drill for the end of the game. We want our guys to be as close to 100% as we possibly can get them. They're not going to be 100%, but you understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So just to make sure that we're not dragging D-Law, dragging Micah Parsons, just dragging all Dorrance, just dragging these guys all game. Cool. We can mix in some guys here to make sure that our top guys are fresh for the end of the second and the fourth. I said this during my film session. And I possibly said this in one of the Voch Lombardi live shows, Will Steele. I don't know. It all run together. My bad. But I was watching film on the Rams, and I feel like Greg Gaines didn't come off the field. And Greg Gaines is he's the nose for the Rams, number 91, and he's one of your noses. He's one of the 320, 330-pound guys. He's exhausted. By the time he gets to the end of the game, Greg Gaines gave you nothing. So when you saw the Zeke runs, you saw the Tony runs kind of pop at the end of the game, that's because Greg Gaines like this. You know what I mean? Just huffing and puffing, you know what I'm talking about? So in my mind, what that means to us is we'll never see Osa Odigizua going, because we can feel comfortable letting Tristan play 25 snaps, or we can feel comfortable getting Chauncey involved, or feel comfortable, getting getting Neville and Billy D and guys like that. You feel me? Did you have any thoughts on that, Will, still before I move on?
You gotta have the guys to do it. We saw Rod try to do this. He called it the wave before, but when you don't have the waves that the Cowboys have now, that don't mean nothing. You got to play certain guys, but the Cowboys having they don't got orphans. They got legitimate ballers, and Quinn is putting them in legitimate spots to play well. So it's only smart to manage some of them, not all of them, because D-Law is still going to play about 70%. Micah's going to play 80, 90% as they should, but the rest of them, get them in and out.
King Element dropped a 5 in the super chat, says, if y'all like the content being put out by these hardworking individuals, whether you bleed green or blue, show support by hitting the like button. Appreciate you, King Element. You do good work in the chat box here. Now, Will, still, this next sound clip here, I thought inherently it was messy as hell. But it's interesting, and I wonder why nobody asked it. Basically, what went into fixing Mike Nolan's defense? I'm like, that's messy, but that's a good question. That's a good question, because we basically got the same dudes, kind of, sort of, right? I mean, we drafted some guys, of course, but we got relatively some of the same guys there. So what went into fixing Mike Nolan's? What, Will?
We got Micah Parsons, J-Rock, Hooker, a couple new people, but I hear you.
You know what I'm talking about. Dan Quinn, how'd you fix this bullshit ass defense when you got here?
Scott, I would say I didn't refer much to the past. I wasn't.
You knew politics was. Dan went, well, All right, and then he gave his answer. He wanted to say he tried to find any way to say anything, but yeah, it was a piece of shit when we got here. But you know what I mean? Come on, Dan Quinn.
Part of the staff in that time, what I did do is knowing that we had to build a group together. So I was going to be new to them, and we also had a lot of new faces here for the 2021 season defensively. Some by the way of free agency, some through the way of the draft, and so building that connection early. I probably was able to lead based on how we want to play and creating our play style. And so fast forwarded a year, you really see, more of the players leading in that space now. And that's, to me, as a coach, what you're looking for, because inside the white lines, that's where the player-to-player communication and how it has to be, and the communication that you have to have, that's how it has to go down. And so I had a sense that would come this season. I certainly felt it during training camp when I heard their communications, the errors were down, and it's good to see that part continue to pick up. And I think there's another space for us to go to into that spot. We had two of the guys back yesterday who were excellent communicators for us, and J-Ron and Jordan. So to have those two guys back into that was big. But it's been excellent to see some of the guys lead that maybe just needed their own time and space to find their roles and how they could lead. And sometimes you need to have that in order to lead, like, you can count on me to do this. They've proven it to their teammates, and now you're able to demonstrate that leadership. And so I think proving it to one another is the first step of that. Hey, you can count on me to get this job done here all the time. And when you do that, I think it kind of builds that trust and accountability within each other.
Go ahead, Will. Still, you said, go ahead.
No, I got nothing to say. I just love what he said.
I love what he said, Will, still. And I would love to know where this secret sauce comes from. How you could take a guy like J-Ron Curse, who, he was a solid player in, Minnesota or whatever, right? But he just couldn't get on the field, right? And then he goes to Detroit, and he ends up being a dude that just played kicking game. Like, he was Jeff Heath for Detroit, And then he gets here, and we like, man, I hope J-Ron Curse get healthy, man. He one of our best guys. You know what I'm saying? How you get Tristan Hill going? How you get, we feel like Neville and Osa was going to be some of those guys, but we didn't feel this. Like, Dorrance been here for a minute, And Dorrance is 25, by the way. Dorrance been here for a minute. What's the secret sauce that got Dorrance Armstrong tearing up shit right now, Will Steele? I don't have a good answer for it. What you think, bro?
Coaching.
I get it, but goddamn, like Dorrance Armstrong day and night, Tristan Hill day and night, J-Ron Curse day and night, Malik Hooker got a career here. You know what I mean?
Coaching. Go look in Seattle. Go look at some of the regular players that you're saying are regular players right now. They got coaching. Byron Maxwell got a check because of Dan Quinn. You know what I'm saying? You had some of the DNs and D tackles for Seattle that weren't much, and the coaching there, Gus Bradley and Dan Quinn, elevated them. Coaching matters.
Terrell Basham can come over here and tear shit up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, whatever the secret sauce is, and I don't know if I got to pause that or not, but the secret sauce, man, Dan is so incredible to me, man. He's so incredible to me. And if y'all ain't doing nothing else, if y'all just want to do something for fun, just if you ain't got no time later on in the day, just go to Falcons Reddit, right? Go to Reddit and go to the Falcons subreddit and just watch Falcons fans kind of talk shit about Dan Quinn for like when he first got fired. Watch how Falcons kind of was like, oh, well, Dan's finna go sabotage somebody's team. Oh, he's finna go mess Dallas up. And you go, damn, our dude and your dude's the same dude, but
it's not.
I love Dan. He's not. Yes, yeah. Still. He's not, man. I don't know, bro. I'm just super impressed by this guy. And like I said, I'm a brand new Cowboy, not brand new Cowboy fan, but I was born in '92, Will. So I missed all the Jimmy Johnson shit. You know what I mean? So all I ever seen was Wade Phillips, Monty Kiffin, goddamn Marinelli. You know what I'm saying? Chris Shaw. That's all I've ever seen. Dan is the best I've seen at this with my own Cowboy eyes.
And Quinn was so underrated about him is that he admitted, I went back into the lab. I said, okay, what was successful in Seattle? What was successful in Atlanta? What wasn't successful in Seattle? And what wasn't successful in Atlanta? And he meshed all these things. He took some things out, probably simplified a lot compared to Dan, and this is what you're getting. You know, it's not. I mean, I know we like our players because we got a lot of young bucks we like, but it's not like it's just littered with Pro Bowlers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not. It's not littered with Pro Bowlers. You may get a Pro Bowler out of it, like the J-Ron Curson stuff like that. But coming in last year, it wasn't littered with Pro Bowlers. Even this year, it's a lot of role players that have bought in to what Dan Quinn wants to do and believe if I do my job, my role, we could be one of the best defenses, if not the best in the league. Because Quinn is that dude.
Mm.
He's
So
done
you're
it.
saying that-
He did it in Seattle. In Atlanta, it took him to a Super Bowl, and you know,
So you're saying that with a guy like Dan Quinn, draft and develop is kind of like a secret weapon for us?
you gotta elaborate a little bit more on that.
I was really just trying to get you to segue into the next clip. It's all good.
Oh my.
Somebody asked Dan Quinn about the relationship between the coaches and the personnel staff, and this basically is kind of tying up with what we were talking about. You know, what I mean, how you can find a player exactly what I'm looking for, and I can fit them to my scheme, and I can get them to do things that I want to do to, you know, get the best out of them. And that's going to segue to my fourth clip. But let's get started right here.
Yeah, I think with every organization, man, is it important, Todd, because there'd be one train of thought to have, you know, just, hey, this is the group we have, and you guys coach them, and but having that connection between the coaching staff and the personnel side, it's so important. And so if we can say from the coaching side, hey, this is how we would feature the player if he was on our team, I think it can kind of paint a picture for the personnel side to say, okay, this is, you know, how we'd feature him. And then what I think then the role is, how do you get him? When would you pick him? The coaches, we'd take him in the first. We'd take him all the time. Like we need 25 first-round picks. But I think the personnel guys, no. None of us know the entire draft like the personnel side does. So they know how to filter it down and go all the way through. So I think what I'm getting.
What he's basically saying right here, though, is you can see a guy like Quinn Bohanna, right, and go, yo, I love what he's doing in Kentucky. Let's go get him in the second. And it takes Will McClay to go, hold on, wait. Our draft boards kind of work. Noses kind of fall. You know, one techs really aren't prioritized that way. I can get him in day 3. Hang tight, Dan. I can get him in day 3. But also on that same token, Will, still, I wonder when Dan Quinn says, oh, I need a guy like Nashawn Wright in the third. You see what I'm saying? When he steps up and you know, they say, all right, Dan, who you want? Is Dan the only one saying, oh, give me Nashawn Wright in the third? And the scouts are saying, I mean, we can give him in the
I would love to know if Dan had that war room juice that Rod seemed to have. I would love to know it. Or if Dan is just like, hey, these are the type of guys I want. Will McClay go pick them. Y'all rank them where they at. Because I don't believe that Dan Quinn is like, this is a third round guy. I think McClay is saying this is a third round guy if you want to go and get him right there. And Dan says, all right, he's available. Let's go get him. But I wonder if they took a step back or a step forward because they trust Dan a little bit more than maybe a Rod. Because we definitely got on Rod's ass for all that juice he had in the room.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, later on in that clip, Dan actually talks about how you can go to a school and figure out a player, but maybe that college isn't using that player in the way that you would use him. You know what I mean? So then you got to have an extra level of, you know, communication with your personnel guy. Yo, Will, you think if we use XYZ like this, and this, would it work? You understand what I'm saying? And that's where draft and develop get kind of crazy. So you can find a guy like Sam Williams to where Ole Miss got him in B gap and shit, and you go, I think I said Williams and me guy. But if you watch enough film, you can ask Will McClay if y'all have a good relationship. You go, yo, Will, you think if we put this dude at edge and stand him up and, you know, take him out of B gap and, you know, fix his body to this and do this with him, do you think we can get a guy to Sam Williams? People ask me all the time, yo, Voch, when you gonna say sorry to Sam Williams, Voch? You wasn't excited about Sam Williams. Well, motherfucker, I go based on the film I get. I can't tell you what's gonna happen once Sam Williams, you know, gets to the league, right? All I know is Ole Miss tape, and if we're gonna use Sam Williams like Ole Miss used Sam Williams, that's how Sam Williams is gonna be. But we use Sam Williams nothing like they use Sam Williams at Ole Miss. They even asked him, Dan Quinn, talk to us about Sam Williams and his development and the game that he's had or whatnot.
Well, I thought it was from the run game. It was Sam's best game this past week, and I'm expecting those steps to increase. And you might have heard me, Michael, say in the early part of the year with some of the first-year players, there's some on-the-job training that goes in, and you live through some of the mistakes that happen because those are the times that you learn from. And so to see Sam, make the strides, and I think I don't know if it was his most play time, but I imagine it was. If it wasn't, it was near it. So to see him, create some plays and make them, that was big. And I continue, you'll likely see guys like him improve fast over the next couple of months because all these lessons that you're learning, you get to keep stacking them. And I expect that to continue with him.
And look, we ain't crazy. Those lessons are, Sam, you can't hit the quarterback while he's out of bounds. I get it. You just can't smack the shot at the quarterback while he's sliding. But what I think we like about that from Sam is that motor. You know what I'm saying? To where you just take that and be like, man, Sam, if you just like, don't slow down at all. Like, don't slow down. But before you hit them up, just figure out where your helmet at, where his helmet at, and just make sure y'all not on the sideline. Everything else, good to go. But you ain't got to teach Sam that because you get to play Sam. So Sam's going to say, all right, dog, next time I'm not going to smack the shit out of him if I see him sliding or if I see him next to the water cooler because that's how far out of bounds motherfucker is when Sam be hitting him and shit. Like, okay, now I can make that adjustment. But let me ask you this, Will. When you watch Sam Williams on film this game, he looked like a totally different dude to you? Does he look like a totally different dude to you? This game as opposed to the last few games? Because the last few games, he looked rookie-ish. This game, it looked like he fit in with the other pass rush guys. Chat box, y'all let me know too. Go ahead, Will.
In what way?
It's just every other game. And this is my own personal opinion. And, you guys can go back and watch film if you like. But Sam amongst Dorrance, D-Law, Fowler, Micah, week 1, 2, and 3, and even 4, right? One, 2, 3, and 4. He looked like the little homie. He looked like a very young defensive end. He was running all upfield. He was getting caught by pullers. He was just looking like super raw and out of place. But this game versus the Rams, he looked way more polished than he did early. He looked like one of them dudes. It looked like he fit into that Dante Fowler tier now. That makes sense? Did you see that? If you didn't, it's cool.
Yeah, no, that's not something that I noticed. But the Fowler thing is interesting because what I notice about Sam every time I come away, at least the last 3 weeks, is just his strength. When he puts all 4 hands, gets 2 hands on the dirt and he's firing out, he's just so strong. And I think it comes with having to deal with guards in the SEC week in, week out, playing that 4-eye situation. He always pops from an athletic standpoint, but his strength just continues to impress me, week in, week out, man.
Yeah. And then Dan was saying that this was probably Sam's best game from the run game standpoint. You know what I mean? And that kind of goes with what I was saying. He's gone from running upfield like a chicken with his head cut off to actually reading and like seeing what's in front of him or whatever. So, hey, man, Sam
Sacks are coming. 3 weeks in a row, he has a quarterback hit.
So Will Steele. Let me ask you this. We've been doing this with left tackle and left guard for the past couple of weeks. What happens when Terrell Basham gets healthy?
I don't think they're playing the same situation. I think Terrell Basham's your backup to D-Law.
I think he moves around. Basham is a left side, right side 3-tech guy too, though, right?
3-tech,
like yeah. I saw
a
little bit.
I mean, we Dan will throw anybody at we'll do the whole what do you call it? The end game situation. But sure. I don't necessarily think much changes. You just got another dude in the clip. Basham has always been a role player. I don't think Basham's been a 30 snap guy. Last year he had to be because so many injuries. You had D-Law out. You had Randy out multiple games at a time, so he had to play a lot. But, you bring Basham in here, now he's, the 19, 20 snap per snap, game per snap, whatever, guy. I mean, just another dude in the clip.
Yeah, interesting. And, this game, if you compare it to the first game, Sam Williams went from 6 snaps to 25. So,
Well, no Basham.
I don't know.
Basham got hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I don't know. You might take some of those away from Chauncey. I don't know, but I think
there you go. That's the one right there.
I think you find a way to keep Sam Williams on the field is what I'm saying. Oh. Basically, that's what I'm saying. You find a way to keep him on the field for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
For sure. College Party National. Mike McCarthy said that we're going to Eagles. How do we get the pass rush to where it is today from last year? I think that's a good clip. Let's hear what Dan Quinn got to say about that.
Well, I think number one is the players first, and knowing exactly, how we fit together. Some of them have been blitzed, but not that many. And so having a good pass rush plan to get ahead on some of the down and distances certainly helps. So when you're playing in the 3rd and 1s and 2s, it makes it that much more challenging compared to, 3rd and 9s and 10s and the longer ones where you're really able to, play as a pass only kind of call. And I think that's been a big factor too. But I certainly lean on the players and their communication, their connection, their knowing, not only what to do, but the verbal, the nonverbal, the communication of how to go within a play. And that's usually what we're looking for, to see how connected they are about the communication that can take place. Because one thing about our rush and cover, they're all interconnected. And that to me is what makes this group unique and tough and hard to deal with, because it's not just, guys who can guard but can't rush, or vice versa. It's truly an extension and a connection to one another. And I definitely feel that from them.
Right.
What he was saying earlier, Will, still also is, I think that's going to be super important in this game versus the Eagles. He was talking about down and distance. And what we've learned the past couple of weeks, if y'all motherfuckers getting 2nd and 12, it's going to be a long day for you. If it's 3rd and 9, good luck. Good luck. So you got to be, and look, this is me giving the Eagles advice. And I don't do this shit every day. This is me giving the Eagles advice, bro. If you in 3rd and 1, congrats. 3rd and 2, 2nd and 4, like that's good. You're gonna have to stay in front of the sticks. This ain't me talking shit right now. This as neutral as I'm gonna get. Today is as neutral as I'm gonna get about this Cowboys versus Eagles thing. You gotta stay in front of the sticks versus Cowboys, because if you don't, it's gonna get scary for you. And I think one of your advantages is if you make Jalen Hurts throw. If you make Jalen Hurts like beat you in the air, we'll talk about it more in a little bit when we get more into the I mean or whatever. But down the distance is important. And I love how he said that the pass rush and the secondary is tied together. You know what I mean? And we've been just kind of talking about that in passing in the past couple of weeks, is that, yeah, man, if we locking people up, the pass rush will get there. Oh, well, you can try to double team Diggs, but you got to hold the ball. Good luck. You know what I mean? So that's just one more thing that goes to our advantage. Got a couple more clips there. We don't need to get into that clip. We know Mike is fine. Dan Quinn talks about Jalen Hurts in particular. Then we'll get to a Mike McCarthy clip. Then we're going to break down the Eagles a little bit.
Well, I think, their offense in general, they have just been an explosive play machine, over the last couple of years, both in the run game and in the pass game. The line coach, Jeff Stoutland, I think, is outstanding, and one that has a run design that's always on point. And now they add Hurts in there as an additional ball carrier to that. I'm still kind of fresh into the preparation piece of it, but I'm looking forward to seeing how they have incorporated AJ into that and where we're going. But big stable of running backs, good running game, and a quarterback that's certainly making the plays. So we'll have our work cut out for us, but definitely a challenge, one that we're looking forward to. And so we certainly envision a tuned up crowd on Sunday night. And that's the best, man. It is the absolute best. And so it's fun, being part of those, and be cool NFC East rivalry here Sunday night, and two good teams wanting to go fight for it.
There's a lot of Eagles fans in the chat box today. I appreciate y'all for being here. I'll take all these numbers. I ain't gonna lie to you. Look, because at the end of the day, we can fuss and fight all you want to. I'm be like, hey, your volume had 11 today. Your volume had 11 tuned in today. Fuck with me. Drop it. One of the Eagles fans in there, I didn't catch the name, pardon me. It was like, Voch, don't forget about the Eagles defense. We're doing the offense today. Relax. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Eagles defense tomorrow. Relax. We just talking about Eagles offense right now. Or today we're talking about Eagles offense. Let's get one last clip on Mike McCarthy on Jalen Hurts. Then me and Will Steele will break this thing down, because I know Will been watching film just as diligently as I have. So let's get into it.
And really like Jalen. Obviously, we liked him coming out. Had good grade on him, but he's, I think the biggest thing, he's definitely progressing. So I think you definitely can see the comfort that he has in the offense. I mean, this is a well-oiled offense, and I think now, with that offensive line, their ability to run the ball, they're playing fast. I mean, if you look at their play numbers, I mean, statistically, they're top in the league, and near the top of the league in a number of categories, both offensively and defensively. So, I mean, this is a football team that's been very productive in their first 5 games, and Jalen's a huge part of that.
Will Steele, I think we've been led astray here. I think we've been sold some faulty goods here. You know what I mean? And like I said, this is me being as even and as neutral as I'm gonna get all week. When you catch me Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
basically, fuck them.
But I'm gonna at least keep it a buck with y'all today and tomorrow. At least. What they saying, Philly will keep it a bean. Ain't what y'all say? Keep it a bean.
That's what. Yeah.
A bean. I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all today and tomorrow. The rest of the week, fuck them. I think I was misunderstood here. And this ain't me talking shit right now. And hopefully Eagles fans can understand where I'm coming from and hopefully understand that I'm not in some shit talking mode right now. I'm just analyzing here. Jalen Hurts is playing solid football, but he is not your savior. A.J. Brown is doing some very interesting things at wide receiver, but he is not your savior. You know? I like what Dallas Goedert is doing, and Devontae Smith, your first round pick last year and all. Let those guys get their credit, but they are not your savior. And this ain't just me saying this as offensive line guy, right? Oh, Voch, you propping up the offensive line because you offensive line guy. That offensive line legit, Will Steele. They are legit. They move dudes around. Bodies hit the floor. Bodies move a lot more sideways than hitting the floor, but bodies move. If you pair that with how they use movement on offense, and you pair that with creativity on offense, and you pair that with them having multiple people on their offense being generally hard to tackle. I'll say generally hard to tackle. I think you have this formula where you can run into some success. I think a lot of their yards, and look, and this ain't me disparaging Jalen Hurts, it just kind of is what it is. If I was to look at Jalen Hurts and try to talk and say, okay, well, what did Jalen Hurts get better at? Because Jalen Hurts has improved as a quarterback altogether, as a football player. I'd rather say that. Jalen Hurts has gotten better as a football player. But as a quarterback, I feel like he has some of the same issues that I would critique him about in his younger years as a professional quarterback, or that I would critique him about when he was a quarterback at Oklahoma and Alabama. I don't think he reads the field necessarily well. I think he's late on a lot of his reads and a lot of his throws. I think he'll miss a lot of reads and hold on to, and just like you're doing right now, this shit that he's doing on the screen right now, this shit that he's doing on the screen, right? He'll do that a lot. He'll do that a lot. This was not scripted. Will Steele just had his film. I just had my talking points. That shit was an accident. Shouts out to Will, though. Jalen Hurts will look downfield and somebody be open. Some quarterback will make that throw, but Jalen Hurts wouldn't make that throw. So I just want us to be aware of what Jalen Hurts does and what he does well. Jalen Hurts does a good job of extending the play, right? So if the average play is 4.5 seconds, when you play the Eagles, the average play is 6.5 seconds. That's just what it is. You can get to Jalen Hurts, but you got to tackle the fucker. You understand? You actually got to physically bring Jalen Hurts down. He's strong. Is what it is. He'll work himself out of these dangerous situations. Somebody in the chat called me a lie. Tell me where it's a lie. Tell me where it's a lie. He said Hurts' footwork and throwing abilities have all gotten better. Sure. Hey. Sure. All right. Perfect. I got a button for that.
Perfect.
Cool. That motherfucker still miss them reads and hold that ball and get you sacked, though. He'll still do that. You know what I mean? So when we're rushing Jalen Hurts, one thing that we have to be aware of, and Cowboy fans have been asking us about this for a couple of weeks, Will, still, because when we played Daniel Jones are kind of dun, run up A-gap for 10 yards. Carson Wentz did it a little bit. Joe Burrow did it a little bit. I think Jalen Hurts does this better than those guys. So when we're rushing Jalen Hurts, and we will be pass rushing Jalen Hurts a lot, with 4. I don't think we're gonna blitz Jalen Hurts very much, even though I think our our secret sauce this game. Like if you look up the numbers, Jalen Hurts isn't that great versus the blitz, but he's better when he's not blitzed. But Cowboys can give you blitz type pressure without blitzing you, if that makes sense. So if we can give Jalen Hurts in that bag while still dropping 7, we going to Golden Corral. But that's assuming the idea. Hey, Jeff Kavanaugh text me. I'll get with him. But that's assuming the idea that we can take advantage of the Eagles' offensive line, who are very good. Well, this is something interesting that I noticed also, right? There's this weird scoring pattern that the Eagles end up going with. Like they get points in bunches and then it'll kind of die out a little bit. So I just got this labeled as second half points. Washington Football Wizards, they got 0 second half points. Jaguars, 9 second half points. Lions, who is the worst defense in the league? 14 second half points. Vikings 0, Cardinals 6. So in my mind, I don't really have a good football answer to why that's the case. But in my mind, if you could just not get that one of those explosive Eagle quarters in the first and second quarter, you know, one of the ones like they did versus the Washington Football Wizards where they just kind of dropped 24 points. And a lot of that has to do with the defense, by the way. So let me just get them, get that clear. If you can survive like that first half in one of those explosions, I think the second half is when you can start to fight back a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, man, AJ Brown, you got to tackle him. He's big and he's strong. Tackle that boy. Devontae Smith got busy in Washington and Arizona, but his other game's been kind of iffy. I still think they're trying to find their way to get both those guys going. But Devontae Smith is talented, but they'll figure it out. I think this is a really big game for run fits. The very first game of the season versus Tampa Bay, I think that was some of the Cowboys' worst run fitting. But I think they've gotten better at it week by week. And last week versus the Rams or whatever, we bust a lot of ass in terms of run fits. So in my mind, if we fit the run and we tackle, we put pressure on Jalen Hurts, but remain gap integral. I don't really have a good idea about what Dallas is going to do as far as like spying, because we may not spy him. We might spy him. We may spy him with a safety. We may spy him with a linebacker. Like, we ain't going to be Brillo with nobody, but I don't know. That's a Dan Quinn question. But if Jalen Hurts, if you make him throw, and I know this is a conversation I've been saying about the last couple of quarterbacks, right? The same about Stafford, the same about, Daniel Jones, the same thing about Carson Wentz. But I just think that's what this Dallas defense is. I think we have the advantage if you stop the run, if you tackle the short passes, and you make dudes throw. I think we live in a world to where that's our advantage. So we'll see. But hey, the Eagles are a tough opponent. They're one of the number one offenses. We're one of the number one defenses. It'll be a fun little go.
The last part. Oh my bad.
Go ahead. Nah, I'm just saying. If we go crazy and they don't score a point, I'm going to jail. Will still. But go ahead. What you got?
No, the last part you said about making him throw. Teams are making him get rid of it faster. His time to throw is decreased in every single game since week 1. It's going down, down, down. So we obviously, if it goes down, that means he's getting it out quick and his screens or what have you, or quick dump offs. But we kind of want him to hold a little bit longer, right? So we can get to him.
Do you prioritize us getting to Jalen Hurts or him possibly throwing the ball to us?
Getting to him. I want to rattle him. Get to Jalen Hurts, sacks, and then he'll eventually throw you one. And I mean, that's what's happened the last 3 games, I think, or 2 games you played Jalen. The Cowboys got a lot of pressure, and then eventually throw you one.
But that offensive line, though, Will still, and I'm offensive line guy. I just like what they doing over there. Like they make the offensive line's job easy, and then the offensive line executes. It's like you ain't got to be the most physically impressive line. You ain't got to be the most athletic or whatever. But if everybody just kind of do their job,
but that defensive line, man. I'm liking this Cowboys defensive line and the Micah Parsons and the D-Law and with Dan Quinn. If he get everybody just to do their job, I don't give a damn what offensive line you got. This defensive front is different. And we'll talk about it on the other side. And a lot of fans have said this. They haven't seen this yet. They haven't. Let's just be completely honest. So, you know, and I don't know if Jordan Mailata is going to play. Jason Kelce banged up. Guess who had their breakout game last year against Jason Kelce in that offensive line? Osa Odighizuwa. Oh, the dude who's better from last year. Let's not forget, Lane Johnson was there. Jason Kelce was there. I don't think Mailata played in that game. But they got their ass whooped, too, up front last year on a slightly worse defensive line. So, hey, you know, good offensive line. I think better defensive line.
Well, still, do you understand what I'm saying by getting to Jalen Hurts? Like our pass rushers, we have to be gap integral by how we get to Jalen Hurts, or else he's going to get away from us. Because there are some people in the chat box, by the way. I think they called me out on my take here, but I honestly feel like you can. I think Jalen Hurts is sackable. I just see a couple people just kind of saying sacks and how many sacks. I think he's sackable. I think he'll be sackable by way of him holding the football and by, I don't know who's going to be healthy or not, but just taking advantage of that offensive line and just the fact that our D line is talented. I think he's a sackable guy. Am I wrong, Wisdom?
No, I mean, it's there. Jalen Hurts is much like all the other running quarterbacks that you face. Like they get pressured on him. They can get sacked, but because they're good at running and scrambling, they don't. So you might only see 2 sacks, right? But you might see more than two quarterback hits. You might only see 2 sacks, but you'll see 9 pressures or whatever it may be, that maybe more in that game. But that's really the most dangerous thing about Jalen Hurts to me and this Eagles offense is not just a run game, but that Jalen Hurts is involved in it, whether it be from an actual running standpoint or from a scrambling standpoint. Outside of that, like I said, I was shocked when I went and watched them. I'm like, it's kind of an ordinary offense. I thought I was going to see a lot more window dressing, a lot more action pre-snap. I mean, you get action post-snap, but it's kind of ordinary after that. They rely on the talent. Devontae Smith isn't, that they're not when I say ordinary, I don't mean ordinary talent. I mean the scheme is not as complicated as I thought it was. They rely on the talents of A.J. Brown, rely on the talents of Dallas Goedert, the talents of Miles Sanders and Devontae Smith. But from a schematic standpoint, it's not that complicated. But where it's going to get tricky, I'm actually fine against these wide receivers because Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, like we've been up against better quarterbacks, better wide receivers. Yeah. Where I'm a little concerned is Dallas Goedert. And the tight end screens and things like that. Dallas Goedert, man, when I watched, these games, I was like, he does a fantastic job selling the block, and then they're going to do an action off of that, right? They're going to do a play action or something like that. He sells the block and he slips. And then, boom, Jalen Hurts gets it right to him. Now Dallas Goedert gets 15 yards, or he'll turn that into a touchdown. So it's the tight end game that really concerns me. It's the quick game, like you said, got to tackle, that concerns me. But it all starts with stopping the run. If you can stop the run, contain the run, make Jalen Hurts throw, it becomes even more ordinary because they're not doing anything crazy in the second part, in their route concepts to me. So just got to be able to cover, man. Cardinals, gave up big space. The Washington football Wizards, they're trash in regards to defense. They gave up a lot of space back there too. We cover pretty well.
Sure.
So I like this matchup. This ain't the matchup that worries me.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. My bad, Alex, in the chat box, he says that we've been mispronouncing Jordan Mailata's name. Could you drop that in the chat box one more time so we can know how to say it phonetically, Alex? Just drop that. 1, 2. It doesn't matter how you pronounce his name. We call him what we want to call him. If we want to call him Miliata, Mulatto, Millennium, Minute Maid, it don't matter what we call them. You know who the hell we talking about. Know your role and shut your face, scrub. I don't care what his name is. Can you say Odighizuwa? Spell Odighizuwa. If I put a gun in your head right now and told you to spell Odighizuwa, could you spell it? Well, mind your business. Will, still, let me ask you. He put it, the timing. He put it, the timing. Will, let me ask you a question. What do you think about the second half points thing that I was talking about?
Yeah, that's weird. I said earlier today on my show, I was like, 5 games is enough for me to look at this as an issue. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm not an Eagles fan. I don't study them like that. Maybe Alex or somebody can tell us, why the hell can't y'all score in the second half on a consistent basis?
Alex ain't answer another question because we up here fucking with him. But go ahead.
They're I think where was it? I gotta find my numbers. I think they're number 1 or number 2, maybe number 2 in points per game in the first half.
Yeah.
They're 29th in points per game in the second half. Like if it was 1-17, 1-12, 1-9, 1-29 is a huge discrepancy. And I can't tell you why that is. I don't know, man.
And you know what? I just want to give myself credit just for being a content king, bro. I asked him and I gave him time to go find his previous post and copy and paste it. So it's almost like he was saying it as I cut him off before I hit him with the, you know what I'm saying? The timing was perfect, Will.
And you know what? I don't like how it's pronounced. Malata?
Yeah,
Malata?
That motherfucker's name is Mayada. I don't care what his name is.
Everybody call him Maliata.
Minute Maid. His name is what we say it is.
His mama named him Maliata. We call him Maliata.
Call him Maliata. I'm gonna call him Maliata. Mulatto. All right, what else I have, man? I think that's all I got, man. Hey, look, play the run. Shut that down nicely. They're gonna go for a lot of short passes, tackle in the open field. Be careful for the screens. Let Jalen take over, man. That's all I got for y'all today. Let's get into the phones. See what y'all talking about. It is 4:09. It just flows.
The conference has been locked.
The shows go by fast, man. The shows go by fast. Let's see what we got here. Let's get Mr. Ronnie on the phone. We made him platinum. Let's give him a little bit of privilege and let him go first. Let's get Mr. Ronnie. Well, still, did you know that Mr. Ronnie is Puerto Rican? Did you know that?
No. Ronnie, is it Everett in the chat? In the chat? Is that the guy?
No, that's somebody different. He's you don't have him saved in your phone, but he's from Reading. PA in your phone.
Yeah. I call him my Reading brother. I did not know that.
Mr. How you doing, Mr. Ronnie?
So how you doing?
Man, fantastic.
God bless you in the show, and my brother too, and your family.
Gracias, appreciate
I just want to say a couple of things real quick. Jalen Hurts, everybody makes Jalen Hurts, like he's something special. But if you look, he only got 4 touchdowns, just like Cooper Rush. So really ain't too much really for a difference in that aspect. And then the other thing I want to say, like you were saying, if we stop Jalen Hurts and stop the run, he's going to have to throw the ball. And he hasn't thrown no touchdown passes. So we good right there. And our secondary will handle that. And another thing I want to say, our receivers, they got to make those easy catches. It's okay if you make those super catches, but the fundamental catches are the ones you got to make to keep the drives going. So that way the defense get rested and we can keep on bringing the heat. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Can't have the hitches and the screens go for 10, 15 yards. We got to tackle 100%, Mr. Ronnie. You're right. Got you. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Well, that's all I got for your 2 good brothers. God bless you and your family like always. And keep on rocking like you'll do.
Gracias, appreciate you.
Thank you, fam.
You know that.
Hey, Will, still, the chat box had a very interesting observation. I was like, oh, man, it's 4:10, boy, time flying. It was like, but Voch, you started at 3:30. I'm like, that's fair. That's fair. We did start a little later, huh? Not bad. Mr. Ronnie got a little bit of Gus Fring to him, you know what I mean?
Gus Fring. Oh, yeah. I like that one.
Got a little Gus Fring to him. Let's go. I don't know if this is Jake from State Farm or Jack from Allstate. Oh, it's Jack from Allstate. What up, Jack from Allstate?
There you go. How you doing, my friend? How you doing?
What's good? And look, the only reason I said that is because somebody does call my show under Jake from State Farm, but you're Jack from Allstate. What's good with you, Jack from Allstate? What's good?
Yeah, we got to go blue. We're better. So, hey, real piggyback on Wheel of Steel. He's absolutely right. The best defense this Eagles have seen is 14th ranked. It's the Jaguars and the Vikings.
Right.
So that's just to tip on that. Real quick, I want to go over a couple things. I went to church twice on Sunday.
Amen.
I went to my regular church, and you put up a sermon Sunday night after that Rams game, and I was just like, I mean, I had my towel, I was wiping my head brow, everything. You were preaching, my friend. So great job on that.
Man, appreciate you, Jay. I was in the spirit, man. I was in the spirit, bro. I mean, it just.
The Holy Ghost was living inside you for sure.
Come on, appreciate you.
I want to give my roses out to Mike McCarthy, DQ, and most importantly, Will Mother effing McClay. This defense is solid. This offense is trying to do what it can do with what it's got. Terrence Steele and everybody else, Biotish. I mean, they're trying to do what they can do. I have a question and I have one more point. My point is on our running backs. I'm tired of hearing people say things about Zeke and this and how you got to give Pollard more touches. I get all that, but I want to compare them to as a boxer. Zeke is your jab. Pollard is your knockout punch. Your jab is going to get pushed and pushed and pushed. They're going to keep blocking. They're going to keep blocking. It's going to wear them down. And all of a sudden, when you leave your guard down, here comes that knockout punch, and he's going to blow it for 20, 30, 40, 50. So we need them both. I love them both. And my question to you is, do you think Dan Quinn is going to ask our pass rush to not pursue so deep to kind of keep him more in a pocket? Because normally we're trying to get up the field as fast as we can. You know, we're trying to get them out. Do you think we're going to go kind of like 3-4 yards and then kind of, you know, keep them in that little zone? Or do you think we're going to keep going deep like we do? Because that's going to leave those open zones for him, much like when we played Russell Wilson and stuff like that.
I feel like that would work, but I think as long as we have gap integrity. And just what I mean by that is just as long as, you know, whatever gap that we start in, we relatively end in that gap. You know what I mean? And just let the linebackers fill in the rest of them. As long as we're not just leaving gaps wide open. Because what happens sometimes is we could rush outside, and if we spin back inside, then he'll just run outside, right? So we should just, you know, just have gap integrity with our rushes. But I don't even think we should over obsess over that. I think if we over obsess and slow down, I think that takes away from who we are. If anything. And this is just Voch talking. I don't have the answers right now. This is a Dan question, but I just say, hey, just rush, and Jalen's gonna step and move wherever he moves. Just have somebody sitting in front of him, you know, ready to chase him. I was listening to somebody, forgot what I was listening to. It was one of these podcasts. I wish I can give him credit, but a couple years ago, I think it was like CJ Goodwin or something was a quarterback spy contained type of guy. I don't even remember that being a thing, but they said on the pod. I probably should have fact checked that before I said this shit, but that's what they said. So I don't know. I don't think this is going to be a situation where we go find a corner. I'm like, all right, Nation, go follow Jalen Hurts today. I just think, you know, whoever's on the field not following Dallas Goedert, I just think that's going to be a guy that's going to be chasing around Jalen Hurts. I said all that to say I don't think this is an Anthony Barr game, or I don't think this is a Van Der Esch game for one of them dudes to do that. You know, this will be a good time to use your linebackers that can run. So that's just me.
Right. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time.
Appreciate you, my guy. Jack from Allstate. Y'all call Jack at Jack number. He'll give you some good rates on some insurance and shit. Voch, y'all gonna let that man call up and say Cooper Rush and Jalen Hurts are basically the same. Yo, listen, man, I don't fight my callers, man, as long as I ain't say it. They can say what they want to. They can say what they want, man. I respect people's right to you know, completely, you know, say what they want to say. Express yourself. Alex come in my chat box for years telling us that the Eagles gonna whoop up on us, and I let Alex say what he gonna say until the Cowboys beat the Eagles. So it all just kind of self-corrects, you know what I mean? So it's cool. Say what you want to say. Say what you want to say. Drew Lawyer dropped 5 and says, what happened to DeRon Bland? The explosive play came out the slot. And while he played the previous game, would you like to see Micah spy Hurts? Nah, I want to see Micah rushing. Give me Brillo. If it's up to me, give me Brillo. Los, what up? Or no. You are good, Will. Still, Dono even better, because not only do you have to run around with Hurts, but you got to hit him. And you know, Dono cared nothing about bodily harm, so that's a good one. Go ahead, Los.
Buenos tardes, Voch y Skywalker, man. How y'all doing?
Hey. What's good, brother?
Yo, Voch, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know RDC World from YouTube?
Yes, sir.
Question mark?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know that joke about that flag football quarterback?
Yes.
That is Jalen Hurts, all right? Because I saw that tweet, and that was hilarious. I just had to say that. So, Hurts will like to run the ball, and he will only throw when his receivers have separation. So the more we can contain him and this backfield, we have a great chance and dictate our own tempo. He carried the ball 15 times, the same amount as their leading rusher, which is Sanders 15 times.
Yeah.
And his only touchdowns were on the ground. He did not pass a single touchdown. I mean, if you tell me Dak would have done, man, I'm not even get to that argument.
Yeah.
But if this offense can score and play efficiently, we give that defense that Zenzo beam, as you say, Voch, to attack, and it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And to close.
Yeah.
To close.
Yeah.
You know, all these damn years, Eagles fans,
right.
we have put up numbers on you. Last year we put 51. The year before that we put 41. The year before that we put 37. And the last time we lost to you, it was 2020, and Dak was hurt. I mean, hey.
We see.
Sky.
Hey, yo, Los, I love you, but we ain't getting nowhere close to the 40s, dog. This Cooper Rush player, but I feel you.
Hey, it's fine, but they haven't seen this defense. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about us.
So all I have to say,
yeah, go ahead.
Sky, hit that drop. Here we come. Peace out.
Will, you talking about
I don't know. Listen, Will, I will take the quarterback controversy that comes along with Cooper Rush dropping 40 points on these people. I'll take it.
That's what I said. I said, this is the game I want. You know, Cooper ain't really done nothing from a passing standpoint, but I would love for him to throw for 350, I said this yesterday, 4 touchdowns. Oh, please let this be the breakout game.
I will take the nonsense on the internet if we can get that game for Cooper Rush.
100.
My word. We got 2 more callers. Then we gonna get to the super chats and we're gonna talk to the chat, and then we're gonna boogie. We gonna boogie. Shouts out to Authentic too, because I didn't know you was a YouTuber, man. I just thought you was, just kind of around chilling or whatever. But I've heard that you are a Giants YouTuber. So if there's any Giants fan, shit, y'all Eagles fans watching Cowboy content, go check out some Giants content. Y'all ain't doing nothing else. Go over there, check my man out, support him, and leave some likes over there. Salute, because he supports us over here. You feel me? Damon, what up?
Man, I'm just trying to stay plugged in like 8-track tapes. What y'all on?
All right, man, I'm leaving, man. I'm about to go ahead and end the show, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all go ahead and salute, man. Appreciate you. Go ahead and get up out of here. What up, DC, man? What you got, man? What you got? Plug.
Chilling, man.
I was born in 92, man. I was born in 92. I know nothing of 8-track tapes. But Will Steele was actually 20 when 8-track tapes came out. So he was driving. So you can go ahead. So Will got a connection with that.
See, you about to mess up Christmas, boy.
Go ahead, Damon. Go ahead. My bad.
Hey, what I think is interesting in this game, man, is I am supremely interested to see how, like the Jordan Davis and the Kobe Dean, like 2 players that we really, really were looking at in the draft, and we were sad that we kept passing these people up. But Nakobe Dean right now has 1 tackle so far through 5 games. I don't know how much he's played, but so far he's got 1 tackle. I don't really know what type of playing time Jordan Davis is having, but I'm really, really interested to see, how Tyler Smith holds up versus this Philly defense versus how we do against the defensive guys that we were looking at in the draft. So I think that's going to be a really interesting angle for us to look at in this game. That's all I got, man.
There's a part of me.
Yeah, Dean ain't playing, bro. He's like, he had like 4 snaps. Now,
Dean.
Now Jordan Davis is a different story, man. He's playing good ball, man.
Not only is Jordan Davis playing, but he's like destroying grown ass.
Yeah, he's a factor.
It's different. Now, Will, there is a part of me that wants to see Tyler Smith at guard just for a handful of plays, 5 plays versus Jordan Davis, just to know what it looked like, just to know what the vibes is.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Go turn on Madden because it ain't happening.
All right, man, my bad.
You might get Jason Peters or Jordan Davis. Yeah. No, you don't want that one.
I'm definitely not excited about that because look, can you imagine what Eagles fans would do if Jordan Davis beat the shit out of Jason bad out of Jason Peters? Oh God, I don't want to be around when that happens. Last one, 903. What's up? Who this?
Hey, this is Dr. D from the ICU. How you doing?
Dr. D from the ICU is are you really a doctor from the ICU?
You really a doctor?
Or is that a gang or a YouTube page?
I am, but the 3 or 4 people that died while I waited on hold. It's my fault. So I better get out of here, get back to work. I just wanted to tell you guys, hey, obviously that was a joke, probably not funny.
I'm about to say you ain't about to be a doctor no more. Your ass, I be damn. Go ahead.
Hey, mad respect to both of you. I'm long time listener and supporter of both of you, and first time caller. But I have a lot of respect for the work you guys put in every day and how long you've been working at this. And happy to see you guys get some of your flowers. Hope it keeps growing. I just had a real quick observation, and I'm sorry I missed a little bit of this show, missed the first part. So you might have touched on it, but I hadn't heard anybody point out so far that these two teams have played each other a lot. And I feel like, especially Trevon Diggs just eats the Eagles' lunch. I want to say he's got more interceptions against the Eagles than he does games played. And I feel like nothing has changed on that. Jalen Hurts might be a little better, but so is Trevon, and so is our pass rush, and so is the safety help. So I feel like it sets up pretty well for us to maybe have another run of those pick six, little defensive point production. And I'm hoping also for some explosion from Turpin. Maybe that'll get us enough points to the Eagles to put them in their place, because, you know, however this game goes, the next one's going to be better, because we're going to have Jason Peters knowing how to play guard. We're going to have Dak back, and we'll show them how many points we can score then. But I think we got a good shot to put them in their place this week, and I'd rather that happen. So I'll hang up and listen to your response, guys.
All right, appreciate you, my guy. Salute, Dr. D. We just made him platinum. Next time you call in, we'll know it's him. Hopefully nobody else dying. I see you, boy. Choctaw, Montana says Jordan Davis is not even impactful, but he's just a college name.
Not a chance he's watching Jordan Davis. Not a chance. Hey, dude, I mean, I understand you're on a rival team, but he's doing some good things over there.
Hey, Will Steele, you ever seen that show Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction?
No.
You ain't never seen that? Well, I had a sound drop.
Oh, wait, yeah. I saw. Go ahead. I know you're talking about. I saw on Twitter.
No, wait a minute. I gotta go to Bluetooth. Dog. I just love this, dog. This little sound drop right here with homeboy basically like for 40 seconds just telling you this it's a lie. Wait a minute.
Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction.
Fiction.
We made it up.
False.
We made this one up.
Lies.
It's a made-up tale. It's
Sir.
a total fabrication. It never happened.
Turn that movie, sir. Like Jordan Davis is a grown ass man, dog. And you know we can play the whole he's just a college name if you want to, but that motherfucker gonna line up right where we got insecurities at the offensive line, bro. He gonna line right up on them. I don't know how much. I don't know how much Zach Martin he gonna see, but he's gonna line up right over Tyler Biadasz. We're gonna have to hold on. We're gonna have to hold on for dear life, buddy. But I don't know. That's all I got. Man.
Hey, what we said the other day, just hold on, man. We did it with AD, just to hold on. And he ain't AD, but the problem is this line is way deeper on the interior than the Rams line. But we'll talk about that tomorrow, I'd imagine. Yeah, for sure. We'll talk about it. Let's get to super chats, and then we'll wrap this little show up. You feel me? Oh, get to these. He said he just looked at his stats. He doesn't play enough, sir. He has 113 snaps, brother. He's playing about 22 snaps a game. That's a lot for a one tech. That's about what you do. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Will Steele is just one of those situations where we just can't read the comments, man. We just can't read the comments. Like I've seen Jordan Davis pick grown men up. It's okay. We read Alex's super chat, and we appreciate you, Alex. Eleanor, who is a Eagles fan, he put Eagles emojis in the chat. Thank you. He dropped 5 in the super. Appreciate you. We read King Element's super chat already. Gracias. Drew Lawyer, we read his super chat already. I'm on top of super chat. I normally miss them shits, but we're on top of super. Gracias. Alex says they might want to rewatch Jordan Davis' last 2 games. Alex, mind your business. This ain't your show, man. We got this, man. Me and Will. Alex think he think this his show or something. He think that, God damn. The executive producer, Alex.
God damn. Well, God damn. Alex think this his show.
Where your mama?
Marcus Johnson dropped 5 and says, "What you think about What you think about trading Kelvin Joseph or Jordan Lewis and a 5th-round pick for Deontay Johnson?
I thought you was gonna press the fiction thing over there.
No. Now if he would have said, "Oh, Voch, I heard we was gonna trade Jordan Lewis, Kelvin Joseph at a 5th," like if he'd have said that, "Oh yeah, Voch, I heard this was gonna happen," then I would have definitely played fact or fiction. But nah, this ain't it. He just asked what I do, and I'm like, what? Sick of this. Literally. Let's see. What? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Jesus. Paul Bracamonte draw 5. It says, y'all heard of Elf on the Shelf? Get ready for Hurts in the Dirt. Thank you, sir.
I like that.
That's spicy. All right. That's all the super chats we got for today. Chat box, for whatever reason you couldn't call into the show, now is your time to tap in with Voch and Will Steele. Whether you dropped your phone in the toilet, you at school, dropping out, or you at work trying not to get fired. Now is your time. What y'all got? Chat box, what y'all got? What y'all got, chat box?
I think the dude Dank said, Cowboy fans, where would you rank your safeties? I'm with J-Rock.
Shit, up there. shit, up there. My safety, like the combination of Donald and Malik
and J-Rock, yeah. The better question is, how many are better?
Couple of I mean, shit. I mean, I'm just assuming out of just like just like regular pessimism or whatever. Not even pessimism, but just I just don't know. But I wouldn't even think that it was like too many.
That's what I'm saying.
Too many. Yeah, sure. What else y'all got, chat? What else y'all got? Jordan Davis is nice and had a great college career, but Buddy is not a player like that. Oh my God, he's going to the Wait, it's not working. What the fuck? It should be working. I hate this. It should be working. All right, cool. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. Whatever. Fuck ass. Shit. That'd have been a perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I got my ideas of what we should do, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. I don't want to give it away. Yeah. Listen.
Not this. No.
Not this bitch want to come on and play. Man, fuck this roadcast. This roadcast ain't shit. What else y'all got? Nah, but Choctaw, Montana, I think you're wrong about this one, buddy. I think you should definitely watch the film, brother. Watch the film. Watch the film with an understanding of what one text do, and you be like, damn, I wish I had that dude on my. Yo, Will, what would your defense look like with that dude on your team?
Oh my,
shitting me? God. Quick observation. I'm not saying I'm happy Dak got hurt, but Cooper Rush starting has forced Kellen Moore to go back to the drawing board and play bully ball. Our defense will hold up 24-17.
Let me tell you.
I think Kellen Moore tired of Mike McCarthy smacking the shit out of him.
I was about to say that's Mike McCarthy. Kellen came out and said, I wanted to throw the ball all game. But coach, he ain't let me. Right.
Montana says he's been watching dude. If you watching dude, you watching. I don't know.
Definitely the last 2 or 3 games. I mean,
yeah. You watching.
Wait, he said he's healed. No. He said he's healed.
Oh, that's healed? Hold on.
He said all week he healed. I love it.
Oh well, shit. If it's healed all week, hold on. Where my glasses at? Let's not fuck around here. I was like, damn, where my towel at? We don't need it. At the volume, nobody panics when things go according to plan. Even if the plan is horrifying, our defense will be. UNLV, Uptown Negans living violent. Lions outside. We coming. Pause. UNLV is crazy. Crazy. Yo,
that's wild.
Uptown Negans living violent is ridiculous.
Let me tell you why. After I saw UNLV, I'm like, running Rebels. We talking about the basketball squad back then, and then he said that. Wow, that's dope.
I don't even know how to respond to that. Ooh, if there was a university for content creators, Voch and Sky would be professors. I kind of do want to do a not like a TED talk or whatever, because that'll be, that's pretentious, but I feel like a little workshop to help content creators or some shit.
I was supposed to, before I did this A to Z thing, that was going to be something I was going to work on, because people always hit us up. And I'm like, man, I can put something together. We all could do this, but time, man.
Yeah, we'll sometime after football season, after draft season, before camp, before we go on vacation, before we go to camp, we should do the YouTube workshop.
We're going to put our brains together.
Yeah. And you know what? I should learn to not ask you to like commit the shit on camera, like on stream, because you're never gonna do it. You're like, we'll talk, Voch. We'll talk. hey, yo, Will, let's do this Friday. You down? Just
facts, because you be. No, let me tell y'all what he does. Don't let him fool y'all. Okay, legitimately, it's 4:33 right now. I will get a text in the Illuminati group chat about 4:46. Hey y'all, what y'all doing at 6:15? Y'all trying to do the round table? Dog, in an hour? You got to holler at me another day, man. That's what he do. That's how he do your boy, man. And he be like, Sky, he can't do the round table.
Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer.
I don't know what you mean, Will. Still, hey, love y'all to pieces, man. I gotta take this off the phone and put it on the roadcaster, man. That's
That's funny.
What a drop. Hey, love y'all to pieces. Zach Scott dropped 5 in the super chat. Appreciate you, sir. He says, just tuning in. Hey, we got to clock out, Zach. Just tuning in. Do you guys really think Rush will be able to make enough happen in the passing game this week? Going to take more than 102 yards. It's up to Zeke and them. And the Eagles always had a formidable, D-line. And we'll talk about this tomorrow for sure, because that's the defense talk for sure. The defense always had, the Eagles defense always had a formidable D-line, but if we were just,
just say it. They secondary was trash for years. We was cooking them for years. Yeah, it may not be the case that anymore, but yeah, they always had a D line. They secondary was ass. But
yeah. So if we find a way to run the ball, Cooper Rush will be fine. Hey, love y'all to pieces, man. Follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI. Surprisingly, I haven't been harassed by Eagles fans just yet. Maybe I have been, but I'm just used to it, and I don't fight those fights anymore. I'm just prioritizing my health and my blood pressure these days. And if y'all want to watch the last few games of Patreon, Marcus Harrison hit me on my Patreon. I saw it right before we went live here. He asked, what are the actual drop days for Patreon? So it's going to be the day after and the day after that. So game day after, and day after that. Those are my film days. If anything changes, I will give y'all updates. The time is to be determined, because we don't know when the plug gonna call. You feel me? So that is what that is. Appreciate you. But if y'all want to check out the film, this patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. Love y'all to piece. That's been blowing up. We're gonna give Will Steele one too, because he's my brother and he deserves it. Yeah, and follow the volume and like all they buttons and shit. Will, go ahead. What you got for us?
Hey, Skywalker still on Twitter, A to Z Sports Dallas on YouTube. But before I go, I got to read this. King Element said, the Bradley Fletcher versus Dez Bryant film is on Bang Bros.
Oh, Will. Oh, my God.
The way he did it was great.
Oh, Will, King Element had such a banger 2 weeks ago. I didn't even know. Miss Nay had to tell me. Get the button ready. Because as soon as I said
which one?
The theme song Leave button.
I got you. I've been ready.
It isn't Leave. We had a lady call the show. We ain't gonna say nothing else, right? But you know how like on my show we be like, "What's your water taste like?" And it was just a lady, just an older lady that called. And And King Element said, it sounded like she about to say, my water tastes like Voch. Volume.
Oh!
Beats Planet.